a little Ole Miss, Tulane. Chris, this is a game we kind of had on the outskirts here looking at it.
Not talked about enough.
It's definitely not, dude. It's not talked about. It's just kind of one of those, it's Ole Miss, Tulane. But let me tell you about Tulane for a second here.
Let's go.
Tulane was the Cinderella team last year, right, as they beat USC in the Cotton Bowl.
Say that again.
They beat USC in the Cotton Bowl. Quarterback Michael Pratt looked good, really good, against South Alabama. Now it's South Alabama, but he still went 14 of 15 for 294 yards and 4 touchdowns.
Jesus, is that like what, 25 yards of completion on 50?
Yeah, he had more touchdowns than he did incompletions in a 37-17 victory. It's at this game, by the way, is at Tulane.
Yep.
If anybody was wondering, which you don't see that often. And also, here's another good stat for you, Chris. Tulane's defense forced 5 turnovers in this game. 5 turnovers. Now, I get it, South Alabama, but anytime you can force 5 turnovers and you can put up 4 touchdowns against anybody, who's at the FBS level of college football, you're doing something right. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, South Alabama, they're in that Sun Belt conference over there. It's not always the easiest conference to go up against.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, right? Willie Fritz and the Green Wave have experience beating top 25 teams with electric offenses and soft defenses recently. So I'm gonna come back to my prediction here in just a second, but I'm gonna kick it back to you, Chris, and kind of get your take here on Ole Miss.
Yeah, here I'll try to make the case here for the Ole Miss man right here. We don't talk about them near enough. I like Lane Kiffin, but Christian, what's Lane Kiffin's biggest win in his time at Ole Miss? Has he got like a big win? I mean, since he's been there, I think an Outback Bowl he beat somebody. I can't even think of what team it was, but I mean, he hasn't knocked off the Alabama or the LSU or obviously Georgia. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
this might be one of his biggest games. Is where I'm getting at.
Yeah, I mean, he's come close. You know what I mean, to beating Bama, I think, but he needs something. You know, I mean, he's got to stay unscathed, like you said. Not to steal your thing, but yeah, he needs something.
Yeah, no, and that's why I wanted to throw that question to you because I think it's kind of an interesting question. I think he gets a lot of hype as this great coach, and I don't think Lane Kiffin's a bad coach. That's not what I'm saying. But my big thing is, last week they rolled Mercer. Isn't that a Georgia team?
You could definitely describe it as that, yeah.
Okay, 73-7. I'm not going to put too much on that. They did put over like almost 700 yards of total offense against Mercer. So it is what it is. But the big question with me, all offseason was who the hell is going to be their quarterback, right? They got Spencer Sanders, Jackson Dart, and they had like a slew of quarterbacks back there. One of those guys should have went to Florida. Florida should have picked up one of those. Sorry, Graham Cracker, but that's just what I'm saying. Here's the thing. Ole Miss in this game against Tulane. Tulane's proven they can beat a Power 5 school, a top-tier one, what they did last year in the bowl game, right? I know it's this year, but Tulane returned a lot of people, including Michael Pratt. I think Ole Miss, it's great that Jackson Dart had a great game against a bad team. We don't talk about this kid enough. Quinshon Judkins, dude. This kid, he led the SEC in rushing as a true freshman last year. This kid's awesome. I hope they plan on running the ball with him. I like him a lot. He's going to be an NFL back here in a couple of years. He's a stud. I don't want them to get one-dimensional in this game and just try to think they got to chuck the ball over the field is where I'm getting at. I know Lane Kiffin, he likes to gamble. He's a little crazy. Sometimes he gets in interviews. It looks like he just did a line of coke. I mean, I love the guy to death. He's funny as shit. But, Christian, I want to know your prediction on this game. Ole Miss at Tulane.
Oh, man. I don't talk about it enough, but who called the Duke-Clemson
that would be
upset?
You did. I said it was going to be within 3 points. You called it.
I don't know again, if they're going to upset them, but I'm going to go with it. My final score prediction, Tulane 38, Ole Miss 35.
Wow. Bold take here. Bold take, Christian. No, you were right, man. You got a lot of people chiming in after that video about, oh, shit. You know what I mean? It wasn't that Duke just barely won, by the way. They kicked the shit out of Clemson. I mean, that was an ass whooping. My prediction here, though, I'm going the opposite way. give Tulane credit. I know this game is going to be super, super close. I think the spread is 7, Ole Miss, but I actually think this game is super close. Give me Ole Miss, though. I believe in Ole Miss this year a little bit. Give final 34-30 in a tight one coming down to the wire. Give me Ole Miss, but no, Tulane could run the table if they lose this game, and we're going to find them up there in the top 15. Christian, they're a very good team. They're not just some off group of 5 team for sure.